Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Jammed Up Show. I am your host, Cooper Knuckles, and today we're going to be discussing arena shows. In the zone. Now, over the years, arena shows, I feel like, are getting a bad rap. We got people crashing into the stands. We got people throwing dirt into the stands, and we have the late and great Blake Granger wrecking out of the arena. So with all this happening, I feel like the conversation of arenas is starting to get higher and higher. There's a lot of people throwing their opinions around saying like, yeah, arena shows should go away or they should change the track. This is Feld's fault. None of this would be happening if Feld would just listen to their fans. All that mumbo jumbo being said, I truly don't think you guys understand that it's not a Feld problem. You want to know whose problem it is? Drivers. Whoa. I'm saying it's the driver's fault? That is correct. I believe it's the driver who's going out of their way to go too hard, and it can cause some major damage or building damage or more dirt thrown into the crowd. Now, I'm not saying every driver is like that, all right? I'm not saying it. Not every driver is like that, because you get a lot of drivers who will show up, do what they need to do, put on a decent show while they do it, and still be able to tire down and put the truck into the trailer, and you can go home and have an early dinner. Now, I will say Matt Cody, I believe it was Matt, he also wrecked like Blake did, right? He was going a little aggressive because he's driving a Gravedigger. Now, I believe in his mind, if he does not drive the truck like a true Gravedigger truck, people are going to look down on him. I'm just saying it doesn't matter. And you know how I can fully agree? And you know how I can fully stand on this argument and none of you could disprove me? Tom Mintz can have a hell of a freestyle in an arena show and not do anything stupid. Call me crazy. I watched Tom Mintz do I kind of did from the tunnel in Mississippi. We had an arena show that was the size of a goddamn hockey arena, and he put on a hell of a freestyle multiple times because there was multiple shows throughout the day, and there was, I think, like a couple days. It was like Thursday through Sunday. I don't know. Arena shows suck. Working them, at least. The crew guys. God, it's too much. Get me back to stadiums. When I crewed, I strictly said I'm not going to crew for arena shows. It's a different breed over there. Give me before it was a 1-show weekend. I don't want the 7-show weekend. Get me out of there. I know you get a lot of overtime, but get me out of there. I don't want it. I've seen enough clips and people complaining enough to where they believe that Monster Jam isn't its own fault when they add all these stupid shit to it. They need to change the pod. They need to go into arenas that are much bigger. Well, if I'm being honest, if you start doing that, you take away from people who aren't able to go to stadiums, or if this is their only closest show they can go to. Honestly, they're doing a fine job. Monster Jam laid out a blueprint of a successful show if it's done correctly. And when you get some drivers in there who drive like their britches are too much, or they talk a lot of shit and they're trying to throw down, you're going to get some problems. All right? I'm just saying, I personally feel like it's the driver. We got to look at the driver when we look at what damage happened. Now, granted, the dirt in the crowd is always going to happen. I don't care who you are. It's going to happen. It's always happened. It'll continue to always happen. That's fine. But when you're trying to win a race, and if you end up in the stands, how? You can take a look at that driver and you can ask them, why did you end up in the stands? And they will say, I was trying to win the race. When in reality, if you're going to lose control in that tight of a spot, stop. You don't need to win. Don't prove it. You're not going to prove anything. Honestly, this is not like WWE when you're trying to perform at your top status. To get me to stadiums, I got to get to the stadiums. No. You're in arenas for a reason. get it done. If you're a good driver, maybe they will gift you with a stadium shot during the summer shows. Whoa, who would have thunk it? I got someone right here who could definitely help with this argument on if arena shows are too bad or what not.
Thank you for calling Papa John's. We're open and ready to serve you.
So now we're going to dive into this post I made 2 weeks ago on the YouTube channel. I'm just saying, I'm sorry it took me so long. I've been trying to find a good time to make this video. To where I posted, what are your thoughts on the Monster Jam arena shows? And we're going to go through these and see what y'all have to say. Like here, the Adventurous Boy 609 YouTube. There you go. Keep arenas, but change the track design, especially for smaller arenas, as drivers can often drive harder and cause accidents. Now, I would be interested to see what style of design you would make for arenas. I mean, the pod is like perfect. Honestly, the pod is like the wheel. You can't really reinvent the wheel here. The pod is perfect depending on the stadium. Those are trash due to pod. Car are needed, and quad wars need to come back. I prefer stadiums as well. You know what? He prefers stadiums, so his argument here is valid. I do remember the quad wars. That was a fun time. I mean, having the quads and all that shit, that was a lot of fun. The side-by-sides, the ATVs. I think they should have stayed with those instead of two-wheel skill. I don't know. I feel like the ATVs and the side-by-sides added a lot to the shows. I'm not going to lie. When I was in Rosemont crewing, it was actually entertaining to watch the side-by-sides. I enjoyed the shit out of that. Yo, I remember when Amy Hood wrecked and a good amount of people were cheering. It was really funny. I do wish they'd bring the side-by-sides and ATVs back. I do remember when we were walking in the Feld building and they had all the ATVs in the back and I was told they're selling them. I was like, yo, how much? But it was way too much and I had no way to get it home from Florida to Illinois. Ryan's Joe124, he commented, I prefer stadiums, but arenas now have become so predictable and scripted, especially in freestyle. One truck hits the backflip and they win. Also, after they saw it at Huntsville with Blake getting fired for his crash and Matt getting injured for his crash, the arena pod needs to go. It's overstayed. It's welcome. Okay. There's a lot to unpack here. You can't script Monster Jam. I'm just going to tell you that much. Calling arenas predictable and scripted is actually interesting. I'm not going to lie. I mean, calling arenas scripted and predictable is interesting to me. I mean, it's predictable, I think, in a way, because there's a total of like 4 jumps and a backflip. So I guess you could understand it, because there's a 50-50 shot of which side of the pod they're going to hit when they freestyle. I mean, it's not scripted. You can't script monster trucks, nor can you script damage and rollovers. It's the one good thing about the sport is because anything can happen. So I mean, not saying it's scripted, but it's like, I don't know. I'd be interesting to see the argument. I've never really seen too many people argue that it's scripted. I think in a way, if they think it's like, so and so deserved to win, but of course a Gravedigger won or a Digatron won. I mean, yeah, they might sprinkle more points over here. I don't exactly know. For example, when Mad Scientist did the front flip, but Neil Elliott had a 10 times better freestyle, right there, they gave Mad Scientist to win when it should have been that. I guess if you call that scripted, I don't think it is scripted. It's more of a people up top said that's who's going to win. Give it to him, I guess. I don't know. I'm not saying that's what they do. I'm just saying there's times I thought the same thing. Also, I was in the back tiring down, so I didn't get to watch Mad Scientist freestyle in person, but I could still tell you Neil should have won. Then we got Jeremiah Cole 2542. Feld sucks. Monster Jam sucks. Well, you know what, Jeremiah? You suck, my friend. You suck. Thanks for the comment. I'm going to like it right now. I guess I didn't film an outro for the video. I was in the middle of editing it. And I was like, where's the outro? Well, here it is. Like, subscribe, comment down below your guys' thoughts on arena shows and what do you think? What do you think about what I said? Be honest. Very interesting. I'm not going to say you're wrong, but I don't know. I feel like I had some good arguments here. Here's 2 pugs. If you like and subscribe and we get to 500 subscribers, I'll show you my other 2 pugs. All right. Thank y'all for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.